Hey guys, Mr. Markcoos here. As you could see from the last episode, we went out and bought Martin Vidra. Is that his name? Vidra, the one who plays for West. He plays for West Brom. Vidra. He's a very good player, by the way. If you've not got him, I would advise you get him if you have a very relatively weak team at the current moment in MLO. I know the majority of people don't actually play MLO that much anymore. I mean, some people do, like play it loads, but nah, I don't really face that many people, really. I mean, I've played quite a lot in the last couple of weeks, and I've only not actually got that many games. I mean, like this episode, I got, again, 2 games, but it took absolutely ages to get a second game sorted. And the first opponent, I mean, look at this. Searching for an opponent, bloody, like 2 minutes it took to search for an opponent. What the hell's going on? I don't know. But I don't know if it's not Konami, it's not my internet. I think it's just down to the fact that there's a relative lack of players playing the game at the current moment, which is a bit disappointing. But I mean, I could always go back to playing offline if I wanted to, but everyone likes playing online. But yeah, today we placed off against this dude in the first match, Jim Bokigi. He had a rating of 248, wasn't a very good player. He had AC Milan as his base team, and I'm not going to say he's not a very good player, because, I mean, every player has their ups and downs, and every player plays well sometimes. But in this first match, I don't think we actually played with Vidra, if I remember correctly. Yeah, he didn't want to play. But again, Victor Montano up front, Kalunga on the right, he actually had Palombo in midfield, so I was like, relatively decent. But I thought this was like one of his maybe first games, because of the fact that he just sort of got rid of half the team. He maybe had just played maybe like 2 or 3 games, got rid of half the team and decided to just go all out to get like some good players in. So you got like Ansaldi at left back. I think he's like an 80 rated left back. It's actually pretty decent as well. But yeah, in this game he played Kevin Nolan up front because we were not going to bother playing Menandinho up front. Menandinho's like sort of not done. I wouldn't say he's done, but he is basically done because he's not old. I mean, you know what I mean. Like his rating isn't as high as it could be, because of course players don't change or anything. But yeah, this dude, I mean, he played relatively decently in the first half, in the first like couple minutes of the match. But eventually Hologou gets played for on goal by Mulgrew, and Hologou just sort of runs down the right hand side, just skins past 2 players, gets a shot away, keeper makes a really good save. Galassi comes through and just pops it in the back of the net, basically goal from kickoff, which is what it's all about. But in the 32nd minute here, Elm is running through on goal, and he just plays a nice ball through to Kevin Nolan, and for some reason, again, Nolan takes a ridiculous touch, and Golaska has the miss of the century. My god. Anyway, looking back at that, it's just like, how did you do that? But yeah, and basically as it came up to half time, trying to get another couple shots away and whatnot, trying to get another couple of attacks. Gave Ray a foul though. That was a really good foul to give away, because the minute he passed the ball forward, the referee actually blew for the foul rather than blew for half time. So yeah, I mean, half time, look at that. The stats are relatively close. He's had 5 shots, 4 on target, but none which have really sort of tested Luciano in goal. But in the 62nd minute here, Hologou had a nice shot, relatively decent shot. Eva Gesic saved it, and from the kick out, he kicked it straight out, more or less. What's his name? Roderick was playing, got onto it. And then in the 64th minute here, I mean, like, he was fortunate to get the ball, but when he did get it, he played with Hologou down his left hand side, passed it down to Golaska. Golaska played a relatively nice ball to Victor Montano, who got a shot away. Keeper made a relatively good save, and that sort of was how that ended, because he didn't do much from the corner kick. And in the 78th minute, Eva Gesic with the ball plays it, and again, because my big tall player's midfield, there's no point kicking the ball right down the centre of the field. I mean, god. Anyway, Hologou played it to Butner. Butner sort of just took a touch, went inside onto his right foot, crossed it in, and it came to big Kevin Nolan, who popped it in with his 2nd goal for the club in 2 games. So, I'm not going to complain about Kevin Nolan. He's actually a relatively decent player. Doesn't have a real face, which is a bit pissed off, which I'm a bit pissed off about, really, because, you know, out of all the West Ham team, he sort of does deserve one, considering how good he actually is. But Luciano actually got the man of the match with a 7.0 rating, so it sort of says everything about how good his attacking play was. His defending was a bit poor though, so if he was defending better, he would probably have won that game. But we went into this match, we sort of see the come out of that. He got 4 points down, and I went up by 8, even though like his team has like the difference in team strength and rating was ridiculous. I mean, come on, that's like 200 different rating. But yeah, I mean, we went to the second match and the final match of this episode, and I was in sort of high spirits going into this match. I was like, okay, so let's see who we face. So we faced a guy called Federal Line or Feder Online, and he had Juventus as his base team. His difference in team strength was small. Yeah, relatively big difference in rating and whatnot, but as you usually do get. And I mean, look at this team. He had Teru, he had Suleimani, he had Blazikowski, he had Palombo as well, Florenzi, Kurtic, Dodo, Rosenthal, Gabulo in goal. And he didn't really have like too many players which I recognise. I recognise Palombo, Florenzi, Blazikowski, and Suleimani, but didn't really recognize. Well, Dodo I think might be the one who plays for. I want to say Roma, but I'm not sure. But this game, we actually got the first chance to try out Vidra up front with Nolan behind him, because I decided to like just screw Galaska out either onto the left hand side or just play James McCarthy there. But in this game, we got a red card for that challenge. We got a red card for that challenge. We got a red card for that challenge. Explain that to me. Explain that to me, game. Explain that to me, comments. Red card for that challenge. Red card for that challenge. I just said red card for that challenge 6 times. Red card for that challenge. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. But in the 15th minute here, Nolan gets played for on goal by Vidra. Keeper came out relatively, did a decent good job, but Vidra went to go get the ball, and look at this for a bit of skill from Vidra. Skins past his first dude, just runs down a little bit, does a little shot feint, skins past the goalkeeper, pops into the back of the net, and I was just like, Vidra, you beast, you absolute animal. And I mean, he was getting chances and chances and getting these like second, like he was just running after the ball because he's so much faster than Cornelius. I was sort of not used to having a fast player up front. Usually it's a slow player. But in the 29th minute here, Butler crosses it in. Vidra here should get his second goal, but he hits the crossbar. But I was so impressed with him, and it was like, yes, he's absolute beast in it, like as I usually do again with these players, with players who I enjoy playing with. Like last year it was not Klasnic, what's his name, Kalinic, who I had up front, and he was good. But I mean, here as Zakharov tries to play a long ball forward to Vidra, doesn't really work out. Comes to Vidra here anyway, gets a shot away. He is offside, but I mean, it was a very, very, very good shot. It didn't really change anything, but it was a relatively good shot, and that's what really cared. But in the 43rd minute, the game is frozen, and the video is frozen because the game froze. And why did the game freeze? Well, because the game disconnected. So I was like, well, well, the match will be abandoned. I was like, okay then, what will happen from that? And I was like, you win. I was like, yeah. So I won. I got 8 more points. I'm not really happy about that, because I mean, he had a chance. That game was going to be really entertaining, but I got 156 points. Not going to complain there. And then I went out and got rid of Ackerberg, if I remember correctly. And I went out and bought someone, but I don't remember who. So I'm going to have to watch this and be like, who am I getting rid of? If I remember, it was Ackerberg I get rid of. Yes, I remember that. And we'll find out in the next episode who I buy. So if you have enjoyed this episode, subscribe my channel for more. And catch you later.